I am so hungry. I am starving. Oh my goodness, please let this take like less than an hour. Give Dahlia a second death penalty. True, true. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. That is a really creepy-looking portrait. In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried on that night. The plan. Mr. Judge, send Dahlia to God's office and have her expelled. Oh man, that's a good one, Falk. Good joke. The whole plan began with my death, a stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fey to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Mia Fey would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. So that means you really are? Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Mia Fey? Yes, you have a problem with that? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, trite. If you got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Godot is correct, and by the way, it's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya, could it be true? Well, yeah, obviously, because then Pearl's the only one who can take the place of Master, you idiot. Oh, but then they couldn't kill Maya because Maya channeled Dahlia. So once Dahlia was in Maya's body, she couldn't... Well, couldn't she have just stabbed herself? The whole plan began with my death. You were executed last month, correct? Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant. How'd you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fey? Last year, I double-tapped. She was, like, in penitentiary or whatever, since I was on death row and she was my mother. It was actually pretty easy to meet with her. Okay, that makes sense. I see. So that's when you discussed the plan. Ha! Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter. All to make Pearl Fey the master of Crane? Okay, so she did want it to be Pearl no matter what, then. She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister, Misty, took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan. A plan, huh? Stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fey. You're talking about Pearl Fey, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister, Iris. That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her along with our father. Okay, so that's why Morgan... Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so Morgan does not care about you and, That makes sense. Pearl actually has, like, channeling powers, and obviously once, like, Pearl becomes... I was saying earlier, like, what if Morgan just wanted one of her daughters to be in charge? Like, Dahlia could keep possessing Pearl forever and be it, but Dahlia then wouldn't be able to channel other spirits, which is how the Crane channeling technique, like, becomes famous and all. Okay, so it has to be Pearl for Morgan to get what she wants. That's why we were abandoned by her along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. Wow! You mean Iris? Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? Oh my goodness. On top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. How horrible. Yeah, messed up family. The really horrible one was that woman, that bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fey. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Fey heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. Dumb idiot. But for it to work, Mia Fey would have to die. Maya would have to die? But why? Are you stupid, Phoenix? For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master, the remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of. But Pearl would never agree to a plan like that. Yeah, Pearl obviously doesn't know because you never told her her mother was a scumbag! Phoenix is so stupid. I wish Mia was the main character. She adores Maya. How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Phoenix is such an idiot, bro. He is literally moronic. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all. That's ridiculous. No, it's not. Why are you so stupid? It's because I'm so hungry, but I'm actually getting mad at how dumb Phoenix is. She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally, the life of Mia Fey as well. How could anyone do that? Why are you so stupid? You were gonna kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was to follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead and there's nothing any of you can do to me. Grr. So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, on Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical, no one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed that she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway. But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she? Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her. Backstabber? You convinced your dad to get rid of her. Hello? Backstabber? You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. You think the plan was a success? You heard me, just as that woman had hoped. Mia Fey is dead. Now the title of Master will pass on to Pearl Fey. Maya's not dead. You're in Maya's body right now. That's the only way. That's the only way you can be here. You already said that you and Iris don't have channeling power. I already spoke to Pearl, like we know where Pearl is. There's only one person's body you could be in right now, and it's Maya. That's absurd. She's just trapped inside the sacred cavern. Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my darling Feeny? Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people. I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fey's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? Well, she would kill Maya because she hates Mia. You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. So then tell me. Why? Tell me why. Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction. What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, my ear is itching like crazy. She had her own reason for wanting Maya dead. Do you understand why I would kill Mia Fey now? What my goal was? Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fey. Phoenix is so stupid. He is the dumbest man I have ever seen. And Larry is in this game. Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious. So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal. All I wanted to do was kill Mia Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge. Yeah, revenge on Mia, yeah. Revenge? Looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I gotta keep a cool head. And I need to get more info out of her. It's the only way to understand the plan and what she went after. Yeah, I already got all the info out of her. Yada, yada, yada. I pressed right one too many times. I hate when that happens in this game. I wish that it just, like, you know how you can't press left here? I wish that you couldn't press right on the last thing. Like, it even looks like you can't press right here. You just shouldn't be able to press right here. Do you understand why I would kill Mia Fey now? What my goal was? Your goal was to get revenge on Mia Fey. I don't know how to show that, though. Do I just present Mia? It might just be present Mia. Because I do have Mia here, don't I? Yeah, Maya's older sister and my eternal mentor in life and law passed away 2 years ago. I'm so smart. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Mia Fey herself? As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore. Because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either. You wanted to take revenge on someone? I was sentenced to die because of that woman. Yeah, Mia Fey. I somehow knew this was it. I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up. And the reason it wasn't possible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died? Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead. And how do you do that? Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans. Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. She doesn't care, bro. She doesn't care, bro! As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless. Ha! Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you there's not a thing you can do to me. Grr. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warding hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple. So, it was Elise Denham who channeled her after all. Wait, it was Elise who? But then how did you get out of the body and get back into another body? Why did Elise channel you? Why would Misty channel you? I thought that Maya would have channeled you. That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. But you have to be in Maya's body right now. What other body could you be in? She left Mia Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back. What did you do then? That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... So then you're saying you stabbed Maya? It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. What does that mean? No clear memory? I don't know. I think I was stabbed. You were stabbed? At the last minute, Mia Fey must have stabbed me, I'm sure of it. That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork. I don't think you capitalized the F in French for French fry. Did you see that? Like, when you're talking about the language or the people, you capitalize the F in French. But when you're talking about French fries, I don't think you capitalize the F in French. Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness, but before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her. I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end. That's where my memory temporarily stops. But then how did you come back? It stops. I don't have any memory of actually killing Mia Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness. Okay, that's when you channeled that's when Maya channeled you. You were in the sacred cavern? The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I'd been trapped in there. But how'd you wind up in there? I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Mia Fey was dead. I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself. You are in her body right now. For a ghost, you're one tough cookie. I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out. The trick lock stopped you, huh? I didn't know how to remove it. So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern? Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it. Interrupted? It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall. What? Who? Pearl. Could it have been Maya? I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see. Why not? If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my last chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern. That morning, only two people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearl. Pearl went there to cover the hanging scroll in gravy. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late. What do you mean by that? The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally, I couldn't go out, so instead I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped, but just then, Lady Luck showed up. Lady Luck, Iris. After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself. The real Iris? She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was all right, stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. You locked her against her will? Why wasn't she up against the bars being like, hey, help, let me out? I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded. What do you mean your plan had succeeded? I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fey. Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions. But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fey, the picture book author. No, it was Maya. What? Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. Mia Fey, I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit, and that is matricide, the sin of killing her own mother. No way! Order in the court, what is the meaning of this? It's true that I was the one who attacked Mia Fey, but even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya. Ridiculous, that's nonsense. Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there? I should save the game in case they want me to present evidence. What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Mia Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it? You are in Mia Fey's body right now. The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be. Where? Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else? What body are you in right now? Eagle River. Mia Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny? My phone? Bro, put it on vibrate. Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? Beep. Get over here. Okay, thanks. Was this something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Mia Fey? It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh? Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that. So what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be. She's right in front of you! This is so infuriating! I hate how stupid you all are! I told you, didn't I? She's dead. No. No! This is the second time Phoenix has been on track to date a Fey woman and she's been killed before his very eyes. It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Denham, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Mia Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Mia Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River. It can't be. I don't think that Maya would kill herself, to be honest. Even if she killed her mom while being channeled by someone. Or someone channeling someone, I mean. Trite, have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Ah, they talk about that in Tales of Xillia a lot. One of my, no, I was gonna say one of. It's literally my favorite game. Tales of Xillia is my favorite game. No matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Goodell? According to the witness, Mia Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge. You can't do that because there's actually just rocks there. This was one of the things that we caught her on in 3-4, I think. Oh, you dumb idiot, you made the same mistake. Yes, yet again. You dumb idiot, you're so stupid! You're so dumb! That's right, that's where she jumped from. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get messed up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. So it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River? Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Where's the, temple map? You cannot reach the river from there, bro! How many times do I have to tell you this, Dahlia? It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness. Words. What did you say? 11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh! You're right! She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we would be able to see her body in this photo. Ah! Ha! So you finally figured it out. No! Order! You're just playing with me. Mia Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding. Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Yes, just a few minutes ago, actually. Mia Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about? That's obviously a bluff, so where's her dead body then? Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead, but I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Mia Fey is in this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. I should save again. Dude, this track is so Mega Man Battle Network coded. It sounds like Mega Man is facing a boss in like one of the final dungeons right now in Battle Network. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? Mia Fey is here? You say she's here in my courtroom? Without my permission? Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. So what? But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood. You misunderstood that magic must defeat magic. Aya, Jackie! What do you mean? Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne? Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt. You're wrong. Pearl tried, but she couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. It's the first time it's happened. Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? Could happen if someone else was already channeling the same one. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who? Pearl even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now, am I correct? Ah! It wasn't Pearl that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. Mia Fey. This is an easy one. Pearl couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already. I can't stand the tension. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Mia Fey! What? What? But how could that be? Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about her goal? She said that her goal was to kill Mia Fey. Yeah, that's right, but if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her? Ha! Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor. Well, I don't! What are you going on about? Yo, you should, like, try and get something sharp and stab yourself right now in the neck, by the way. What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. There's only one reason. To protect herself from you. To protect herself from me? Yes, on the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Mia Fey. Are you telling me that Maya planned this and did this to stop Pearl from channeling her? Hey, Maya, maybe if you had talked to Pearl about it instead and convinced her not to, your mom wouldn't be dead right now. You're all, the Fey family is full of idiots other than Mia. The path back to Hazakura was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide? You mean, that's when she channeled me? All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearl. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you. That's actually insane. No, don't say that. Get absolutely naughty. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Well, I mean, you weren't played for that much of a fool because her mom's dead because she decided to take this route. Mia Fey killed herself, isn't it obvious? Sorry, but no, it would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple? I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who's never been out in the real world, she could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea? Well, me, of course. Oh my goodness, Mia! Best girl! Of course. But, hey, Mia, did you also consider that maybe you should have just had Maya, like, tell Pearl not to do it? Mia Fey! Been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. Ha! You're something else. But what are you doing here? That hair. It's Pearl, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the Inner Temple's guard. Oh, okay, Mia's excuse, she only had one option. Okay, so Dahlia, what? Wait, why didn't Misty channel Dahlia? Dahlia was channeled by Misty, then Maya channeled Mia, and they duked it out? And then Mia, like, told Maya, hey, channel Dahlia after? What? You had just cornered Maya in the Inner Temple's garden, and then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Mia Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did? Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed. Makes sense, yeah, heads up. When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear, and that was, I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down two things Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived. So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those two things? If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne could have been channeled by someone else. Okay, so Misty was channeled by... Why on earth did Misty channel Dahlia? That doesn't make any sense to me. I wonder if they're actually going to explain that. Misty channeled Dahlia. Dahlia tried to kill Maya. They both passed out. Maya channeled Mia. Mia told her the only way to stop someone from channeling Dahlia to kill you is to channel Dahlia. Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. By one Pearl Fey. Pearl? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along. How dare you? I won't forget this. Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Literally just, like, choke yourself out with the Magatama around you right now or something. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. Sploosh. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth, that wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... Doug! No, not Doug! You wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You! Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face! And now this, you've messed up again. You let Mia Fey escape, even though she was right there in front of you. Mia Fey, or Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Mia Fey like I swore I would. And if only you had gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You'll never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you'll never beat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. Grr. Get wrecked. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you will have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there's no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you is burnt to a crisp. You, you're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? No longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Ah! Alright, yeah, a lot of vowels. Whoa. Okay, that's a wild... What the heck is this? I'm not ready. Not ready to go. Oh, well, you're dead. Nice fire jutsu. Did Mia do the, like, get out of that body thing that, that Morgan said she would do in the second game but didn't? Oh, hey, Maya. Alright, can we just, like, drop all charges now or something? Nick. Sis. And she's dead. What a waiting. Hey, someone gonna... Phoenix is just standing there with his hand on the... Bro! You should be jumping over that and picking up Maya. Hello? Now then, I assume you're the real Iris? Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern. I must say you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, looks like she went back to the heck she came from. Back to home for infinite losers! Seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Mia Fey, as well as the young Pearl Fey, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing, it's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the crane channeling technique. Let's go! The judge is based! Hey, isn't that new the New Year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. You never know what is gonna come through that door. I'm sorry. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. Wow, this is actually, like, really deep. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. That was actually, like, so deep. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment on the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
Uh-oh. What the heck, Godot? Please don't tell me there's more. Please, we're so close to 6 hours. Let me be done. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial isn't over yet, that's what he means. What? No, it should be over! Trite, remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? No! Huh? Dahlia's testimony? Caught up with her in front of the stone lantern, then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom, and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone. Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Why did Elise channel her? Elise Denham, no, Missy Fey. It must have been Misty who is the one that opened the letter and read it, not Maya. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. Which means Misty is also an idiot. Why would anyone other than Pearl have willingly channeled Dahlia for the first time? Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? I have to go through one more trial? No! I've been live for almost 6 hours. I'm so hungry. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Fey. Indeed. Is it really all right, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's all right, Madam Attorney. All right, so you guys recognize each other. Very well then, who is this final witness? Ha! Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place? The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't! She can't testify after what she's been through. Yo, the game ends by testifying Maya. That's pretty sick, though, gonna be honest. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Mia Fey to the witness stand. Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Fey to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. I'm so ready for it to be done. I'm so hungry, dude. Hey, Trite, I got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You got some nerve. But that's not gonna happen this time. This time, you're gonna have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. All right. I don't understand what Godot is trying to accomplish, like, at all. Truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day and we didn't even have a chance to talk. She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why'd you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister? I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from our father either. Yeah, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple. Yeah, she's the one who convinced your dad to get rid of you, though. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong, she never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up. Okay, he deserved it, though. That one, Terry deserved it. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. Yeah, but Terry got what he deserved, though, let's be honest. Like, I will not budge on this stance. Terry got what he deserved. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people, you must mean. Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you. That's right, Dahlia is the one who killed Godot. Yes, what is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise. Was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the Inner Temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the Inner Temple, but the path to the Inner Temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here, so you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? Whee! It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held. I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff. Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile. But why? Why did you alter the body? I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Fey. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground. Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone, the real killer. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did. What? It's Dahlia. I see. Has a sword hidden inside, the actual weapon used to murder the victim. Defendant! Oh no, Iris wants to know the body that was possessed when the murder happened? It must have... I don't know. Yes, the judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you. Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. Yo, Phoenix, you're so in there? You gotta stop trying to date people in the Fey family, Phoenix. It's not working out. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. What is it about the Fey bloodline that makes them fall in love with an idiot like Phoenix? Iris cooperated with the real killer, maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Hey, Mia. I was just thinking that, you know what we really need right now at this pivotal moment? Cleavage. How's Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Denham really was? Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya's stronger than you think. Yeah, Phoenix, you shouldn't be keeping stuff like this from people! Like how you didn't tell Pearl about her mother being scum! I knew she could take it, all of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer, do you know who it is yet? Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just maybe I know who it was. Do I? That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple, and the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. So I guess it must have been... whatchamacallit? It must have been Misty? And one more thing, magic must have been magic. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly, so the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day. That's as much as I can give you. As much help as I can give you, the rest of the battle is yours to win or lose. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. I'm so mad that there's more of this case. I'm so hungry, bro. I'm dying. What exactly did Maya see anyway, and who was it that actually killed Misty Fey? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me all by myself. Me, myself, and I. To be continued.